Welcome back, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, friends. We're back for another word of the day. It's really early in the morning, so I might take a sip of my coffee every now and again to wake up. So if you all are waking up, good morning. Welcome to a new day. All right, I have found some pictures of some words around my house, and I want you to tell me which word you think goes best with this watercolor painting. I can't even remember where I got this, but what word do you think you would use to describe this setting? Did you say remote, maybe? Or coastal? Either one of those words would work, okay? This looks like a remote location, maybe an island with a little boat. It also looks coastal because it's right on the water, but it's definitely not bustling. Most definitely not bustling. Okay. And what about this picture? Okay, what word would you use to describe that picture? I'd say it's definitely coastal, right there next to the ocean, the birds. Maybe remote, but again, definitely not bustling, okay? All right, so we've got a new word for today. So make sure you've got your paper ready. Go ahead and divide it into fourths. Write down the word, what it is not, the sentence and a meaning. Press pause if you need to. Okay, our new word today is called, it's a little bit of a hard word to say, rural. Okay, you actually see this word all the time, or you hear this word all the time. Rural means sort of out in the country, in the countryside. Okay, R-U-R-A-L. Go ahead and write it in your word box. Okay. So let me read a few sentences with the word rural in them. The rural scenery looked totally different from the city landscape. Oz wanted to live in a rural area, but she was worried about getting bored in the countryside. Bogart traveled to the countryside to visit the rural communities. Rural poverty after the bad harvest forced many villagers to move to the city for work. Shang enjoyed painting rural landscapes more than city landscapes. Okay, so rural is really the opposite of a city setting. We can talk, it's the opposite of maybe another word that you've heard called urban. Urban means city, rural means country. They're basically opposites. If you've ever read the story of the city mouse and the country mouse, one of them lives in an urban setting, a city setting, and one of them lives in a rural setting. So I'll show you the picture for rural. It's kind of a funny little, you can see the rolling hills, maybe a little farmhouse. It's kind of a farmer. Okay, so you can press pause and copy this picture if you want, or I'll show you mine. Okay, here's my rural setting. If you've ever driven out past Fairfax, out to the coastal town of Stinson, you are going to be traveling through all that rural area, all those windy roads with the rolling hills and the cows and the trees. That's kind of a rural setting. There's not many houses around. It's mostly just land and kind of countryside. That's a rural area. Okay, so go ahead and copy and make a drawing of your own. Press pause if you need to. Okay, and for me, what rural is not, and you can see I put a no sign on the word urban. Okay, rural is the opposite or is an antonym of urban. And an urban setting is a bustling city setting. That's the opposite of a rural setting. So go ahead and make your own picture of what it is not. Okay. my sentence today is, when you drive to a rural setting, you often see farms, cows, and rolling hills. So a rural setting is going to have lots of farms, lots of green hills, cows, maybe horses. It's just the countryside. Okay. Go ahead and press pause. And then the last thing we'll do is write the meaning of the word. Who remembers what the meaning of rural is? Okay, the meaning of rural is rustic or natural, countryside. The countryside. That's really the meaning, is the countryside. Any rural area is a countryside setting. So go ahead and press pause and copy down the meaning of that word. Okay. So let's review all the words we've learned to describe the setting. Okay. I'll show you the picture. You tell me what word it is. Did you say coastal? If so, give me a high five. All right, next one. Did you say remote? If so, give me another high five. Okay. Next word to describe a setting. Did you say bustling? If so, and our word today, countryside setting, is rural. R-U-R-A-L. Rural. All right. Thank you very much. Take one sip of coffee. I hope you have a fabulous day. Tune in tomorrow for either another word or maybe a wrap-up activity on all of those words. I haven't figured it out yet. Okay. Thank you. See you soon.